Welcome back. On November 7th, the makeup of Houston City Council will be altered. The unanswered question is how dramatically. We've identified a trio of council races unlikely to end up in a runoff, thus offering some degree of suspense. Topping the list, District G pitting incumbent Mary Nan Huffman against former mayoral candidate Tony Buzbee. Also on our close watch list, District E out in Kingwood and also Clear Lake, and the race between Martina Dixon and Fred Flickinger. Finally, District J, where incumbent Edward Pollard is being challenged by Ivan Sanchez, best known as the leader of Houston Millennials. Panel, what are you hearing on the street about any of these contests? I'm starting with you, my good friend from outside of the city limits, but know a lot of people in West Houston and River Oaks.
Sure. So that District G race is very interesting because you had Mary Nan Huffman won the special election. She has not served a full term. It is a Republican-leaning district, one of the few in the city. Mary Nan, of course, Republican, ran as district attorney a couple of years ago. Buzbee kind of parachutes in fresh off the Paxton impeachment trial and is a superstar even amongst Republicans, even though he's the former chair of the Galveston Democrat Party and is a big Democrat donor. To be fair, he donates to both sides of the aisle. But what an interesting race to watch. There is a mysterious third candidate. I can't even pronounce his name. No one has ever seen this person, and there's some questions about, whether or not he actually exists. We may end up with another investigation like we had in Harold Dutton's primary a few years ago.
Charles knows all those folks in Kingwood. Does Martina have a leg up there, or is that pretty even?
No, honestly, I would say Fred Flickinger. He's got a lot of the grassroots support. So he's got the party's endorsement, he's got the precinct chairs, he's got a number of elected officials in the area. Martina Dixon does have the police union support. Fred has the fire union support. So, it's, it is split, but I do give Fred the edge up just simply because he's got a lot of that party and precinct chair support. But on that District G race, I want to say, I think it's interesting and could be somewhat of a proxy to March, because when we're looking at that race, you have a reliably Republican suburban district, just like we're going to see in March primaries. You have kind of this newly found Paxton wing. Paxton's very active on Tony Buzbee's campaign, very outspoken in favor of him. You have the traditional establishment Republicans lining up behind Mary Nan Huffman. And so I think it's going to mirror what a lot of these March races might look like for some of these House districts.
Okay, Ed Pollard won a district that was supposed to be a majority Latino. Ivan Sanchez has built some name ID. Is Ed in trouble, or is he probably going to win re-election?
I don't know. It depends. I hadn't looked at the numbers. If Ivan Sanchez went out and actually registered voters to bring in, because the heart and soul of that district really is the Sharpstown, Brayburn area. They're the ones that turn out and elect, and Ed stayed very close to them. And I haven't heard anybody out there that's upset with him. So unless Yvonne has gone out and brought in new voters, I would say it's probably to Ed, but if a lot of new voters show up that are registered, Yvonne could have a shot at it.
Paul, you watching any of these races?
Yeah, I'm curious about Jay. So Jay is the one that was designed for Hispanic representation. There's only one currently on City Council. I think the fact that 2/3 of the district is Hispanic, what I've seen is it looks like there's a floor of about a third. If there's a Hispanic name on the ballot against a non-Hispanic name, there's about a floor on the Hispanic voters turning out and voting just for name alone. I am curious to see. Pollard was my city council person, did a great job for me. I'm curious to see whether Sanchez wins.
Okay.